Hey, what's up, YouTube? Travis here, answering the Wandering Recluse. Sorry, Sean. The Wandering Recluse's 10 questions. So, as to not draw this out too long, I'll get right into it. Number one, what is your biggest pipe smoking pet peeve? It's kind of interesting when I first watched this video and saw Sean ask this question. I was thinking, well, he must be talking about what other people do with their pipes that annoy them. But I don't really smoke around other people or other people that smoke pipes, so I'm guessing what you're getting at is what bothers you when you're smoking your pipe. And mine's got to be the wet goo dottle that's at the bottom of of a lot of smokes, but especially aromatic smokes, and especially in the bent pipes. Although that doesn't stop me from smoking aromatic tobacco in bent pipes, which is what I have right now. What is the most memorable pipe smoking experience, good or bad, you've ever had? Well, I've been smoking a pipe for about 2 years now, and I probably average maybe once a week. So maybe that might be pushing it. So I don't smoke that often, and I usually am smoking alone. But the best memories definitely come with smoking with other people. I was down in Springfield, Missouri, hanging out for the weekend with a good friend of mine, and just one night we went out earlier in the day to the local tobacconist, picked up a couple cigars and some pipe tobacco. He smokes cigars, not really a pipe yet. He's thinking about getting into it, but hasn't yet. And we just sat around and visited and kind of talked about things that didn't matter and things that mattered, and it was just enjoyable to sit around and visit for a couple hours over a pipe and cigar, and that's probably my best memory. So there you go. Number 3, do you consider pipe smoking a relatively unknown subculture at the present? If so, why did it become underground? Yeah, I would say it's relatively unknown, at least relatively locally. That's a lot of lees. Relatively locally, I could make that conclusion. I'm sure that there's areas in the southeast where it seems like, at least, there's a lot more tobacconists and a lot more opportunities to acquire pipes and tobacco. That maybe it's not quite as unknown, but certainly up here it is. I'm in Iowa, and basically Iowa in itself is going anti-smoking everything all the time anywhere. So we're basically at the point that you can smoke in your own house and your own yard, and that's about it. So why did it become underground? I think in some areas just people have just latched onto something to complain about, and they've pushed with that, and that's what it's become. In other places, I think when you take it out of the mainstream, out of movies, out of media, then people who just feed on that kind of thing lose their connection to it. So with pipes not in the mainstream media that much, they kind of become more underground. But that's just my thoughts. Number 4, do you think the YouTube pipe community will eventually make pipe smoking more mainstream? Yes. To what degree, I don't know. But I think it'll make it more mainstream, especially if we talk about it to other people. I don't think we can just count on people finding our videos. We need to talk about it, whether it's at our local tobacconist, say, hey, by the way, there's a whole community of pipe smokers that, converse through video on YouTube or whatever to kind of get it known and maybe get more people involved, and might make people feel more comfortable about it. Number 5, if you could only take one pipe with you on an island along with one tobacco, what would they be? If I'm actually going to answer this correctly, I would say my one pipe would be, it's my Corsica pipe. It's a French seconds pipe. Smokes great. It actually has an acrylic stem on it, but it just smokes beautifully. It's kind of a ball shape. That's about it. It came in a lot of pipes that I purchased, and it was in pretty good condition, and yeah, smokes great. The tobacco I would take is Peterson's Old Dublin. That's an English that was just consistent for me. Never had a bad bowl smoking it, and so yeah, that's what I would take right now. I could also take an aromatic along. Then I would take Shortcut to Mushrooms by Just for Him. It's a tobacconist in Springfield. Yeah, so there's my little cheat on that answer. Describe the perfect pipe smoking setting. I think out on out on a deck or a back patio or something like that, with friends, just sitting around enjoying an evening. I think an evening type setting, as the sun's going down, or maybe after it's already gone down, maybe early spring or fall, where it's just cool enough where there's no bugs, but not so cold that you're sitting there freezing. So yeah, there's my perfect pipe smoking setting. What's the one piece of advice you give to a new pipe smoker? If I only could give one piece, I would say don't be afraid to ask questions. It's good to explore, of course, but if you have a question, ask it. And I think, at least us here on the YouTube pipe community, would be happy to answer that question. Not that I'm any kind of expert, but I would still try to answer the question. Number 8. How do you feel pipe smokers are viewed by the public or non-pipe smokers? It's hard to say. At least what I hear from you guys here I hear a lot more positive reviews where people say, "Oh, ran into somebody. They said, oh, the smoke smells so great. Reminds me of my grandpa." Insert typical blah 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 comment about it. Here, I've smoked my pipe out in public a few times, just walking around town, and really have gotten no comments whatsoever. No dirty looks, but no one coming up to say anything to me. So I guess I haven't put myself out there enough to really know what people think. Number 9, what is the biggest misconception about pipe smoking? I think the biggest misconception is probably that, pipe smoking, that's always going to smell good. Because there's tobaccos out there that taste great and smell disgusting to other people in the room or area. So I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions. Am I a morning smoker, afternoon smoker, or evening smoker? By default, I would say evening smoker because I go to work pretty early in the morning. I usually leaving between 7 and 7:30 to go to work usually. And I usually work until after 6, so by the time I get home, it's already evening. So by default, if I'm going to smoke, it's in the evenings, occasionally on the afternoon, or in the afternoons, on the weekends, rarely, if ever, in the morning. So there you go. There's my answer to the 10 questions. Sean, looking forward to your responses to your own questions in the future. We'll catch you guys next time.